Hi everyone, and Dragon with you. So today I'd like to share my experience in fighting Osh the Eternal Keeper. So this video will be dedicated to strategy of your teams, strategy of the entire guild teams, and generally choices. So choices you need to make before you fight the boss. So first of all, we will go to the buffs. So to get the buffs, during this week you used Valor emblems, and these valor emblems were reached through fighting the minions. So I defeated all the minions. As a result, got 150 of them. So which buffs are available? For 1 million, you are able to choose a buff which is here. In general, you can boost your stats, for example, debuff the opponent, or you can get extra speed. So for my choice was speed. I spent 1 million. Remember that these buffs are only this week, so you just waste your resources in general, but that helps you a lot during this week. And I needed more speed. Then go the epic buffs. So you need to think, if you play 3 growth keepers, would you like extra energy against the nightmare? So after you fight with nightmares, you can get extra energy. Do you use marksman? Would you like to get extra energy for the final hit heroes? So actually there are many buffs, do you play undead team, etc., which allow you to be more effective. So you need to choose properly which buffs you need. For example, if you need more survival, you may choose this buff, so all healing is improved. If you use a separate type of team, check where the team buffs are. So for my choice, I used uncommon buffs. They are not really expensive, and I would say that they are very effective. So the first one is a shield. It's triggered once per battle and absorbs all damage from the defensive spheres. And it can also trigger automatically. So if you need survival. If you play engineers, you can get them bonus damage. And what I purchased is extra healing converted into pure damage. And I really appreciate this thing because we can play Albus, who gets extra pure damage if you deal pure damage. We also have Marsa, who is a super healer. Same by Dorian. So I have Marsa, Dorian, and Celeste, kind of strong. As a result, I would like their extra healing to be converted into damage. That helps a lot. Here we have all the team can deal 7% bonus damage against nightmares for each nightmare. So the more nightmares you have, the more damage you deal to them. Pretty nice. And the last buff I got, when inflicted slumber of nightmare vision and triggered, the nightmare generated by mages have 50% less health. So nightmares have less health, we deal extra damage to nightmares. As a result, we don't waste our time and deal more damage to the boss. That's why I chose these 3 buffs. You can alternatively get more stats and limit the amount of nightmares to 4 from the one use. Okay, so choose the buffs correctly. I can't say that some buffs are just okay, you need to get them. Pick buffs which fit your team best and remember that they are only this week. That's the first thing. Second thing, you need to keep an eye on your other guild mates. So if you go to the log, yes, you see that I am the first now, we can see which champions, how many battles fought. So actually you see that some of the champions fought all the battles, some of the champions still have some teams in reserve. So you can use that info to understand if there are some champions left. Also, we have moral points, so most of our champions got all moral points on the minions. Some of them didn't get, so it depends on your champions. Boss log, that's what I would like to talk about here. So check this out. At first, we have a weak boss of level 65. That's exactly the time when you need to send your weaker champions straight forward to collect this boss and to collect the damage output reward, which is important because damage output reward is individual. So first goes weak champions and weak teams. For example, here we have not super weak teams, but a great option from Celine. You may know her from my other videos. Then she just swapped her strong characters into several teams. As a result, each team was kind of effective, and she managed to collect a nice amount of damage with her relatively low amount of developed heroes, as you can see here. So then we have some strong attackers, so I would recommend to use the weak to strong strategy, but I guess Vladimir just wanted as soon as possible to get the reward for the boss defeated. That's why he just smashed the boss with 19 million damage and went straight into the next level. Okay, so next I let my fighters do something, and at the time when I went to the game, you see that many of the players already fought, so the boss was at level 95. So what did I do? I just picked the champions which I used in the past but don't use now, or the champions which are developed but not greatly. So the first team had Rufus developed, a kind of developed Thea, and some of Arachne. These two characters are just stats. I didn't improve their abilities a lot. So that's weak champions. Let me show you the stats not to waste your time. So you see that these champions are weak, except of Rufus, and still they manage to deal a nice amount of damage. Then my second team to fight was a team with champions which I used in the past. That's Maya and Astrid and Lucas. I used them at Outland, and also we know that Maya and the Undead deal some pure damage, right? So if we manage to collect pure damage into Albus, that will boost him a lot. That's why I picked Albus here, and you see that the amount of damage is kind of impressive. Although my team is really weak. So the third team was Zen. The third team included Ju and Dante. Both these characters were used at Outland. In the past, I used Fox, Sebastian, and the Darkstar are optional characters, but still can do something. So you can check the stats and see that Ju was a just boss destroyer. That's not a super Ju, but exactly trained against the boss. What I did wrong is actually I had to put patronage into every single hero before the fight. So that's my mistake, but that was kind of morning at my time and I was sleepy, so just didn't provide all the buffs here. Then I needed to wait because 95th looked okay, so it started getting me some problems with the last team, but in general that was not super hard. Then I get my other champions to the fight, they see what happens, they try their best, so they farmed a lot, and after this time, when I know that most of my champions already played, when I know that the boss is buffed into 105th level, I see that it's time for me again. So first of all, I attack with my team, which is not super powerful, but has a great synergy. So usually I play not Cornelius, but Rufus here, but just Cornelius left from the past teams. That's why I use Celeste as a buffer to the entire team. So she buffs with extra magic attack. We have double magic penetration with Faceless and Orion, and lifesteal from Dorian. So who do you think is the most effective damage dealer of this entire team? How do you think? We have some time, and you see that it's Celeste. Yes, no jokes. So she managed to tank and she managed to deal the most damage of all because I kept her in the dark mode and she just removed the entire front line. Okay, so with her buffs, Orion also was able with Faceless to deal significant damage, some of Cornelius, and here we go. So I would use another pet, but I thought that I may have some trouble with healing. Actually, I was wrong. So my team managed to heal properly with Dorian, and that worked. So I could play Albus here. And then I attacked with my main team. You see that 20 million damage with this team. That's my main team. This time I set patronages properly. So we have Albus for Yasmin to boost her poison. We have Fenris for Chinmao to improve armor penetration and let her remove the front line with the spheres, etc. Also we have Isaac. Isaac is the weakest here, so I buffed him and managed to get some extra armor penetration. Asteros is a super tank, and Martha is a super healer. So remember that her healing will be converted into extra pure damage. So as a result, we have two sources of pure damage at the damage dealing part, and one source from healing. So Albus was able to deal 2 million damage during 2 minutes, which is a lot. So I used the strategy, which allowed me to do some extra stuff. So let me show you the two fights real quick, and that will be information about how we fought with the boss. Hope it helps you to make the right decision. And please don't forget to check the quests. Please don't forget to check your bonuses, etc. So I'll show you where you can see them. So basically the idea was kind of simple. I just use Celeste in dark mode, then when she is able to reroll 2 times, I do that. So we have double magic penetration, we have double magic attack buff. As a result, my attacks will be much more effective during the time when that is active. And actually, I don't I don't see what could remove Celeste here. So yes, she received some damage. She fought with the front line, but she was a nice tank here for the 105th level. Obviously, she's much stronger than that, but still, that was kind of impressive. Okay, so the strategy is exactly the same. We just use our magic buffs and copy our Orion with Faceless. So what about the second fight? The second fight started really quick. You will see that. So since the fight started, the damage already is here. So crazy damage from basic attacks. Then Qin Mao went with her percentage attack, percentage of the opponent's health. And then what I had to do is just to use mass synergy. So yes, during the meteor shower we are faster. We have double armor penetration from Isaac and Qin Mao. Also double armor in case we need it. And that kind of worked. So we have increase in damage, and 25% of healing is converted into damage. You see that actually we don't need a lot of healing because we are fine, and Martha's totem instead tries to deal some damage, I guess. So this fight went smooth. We managed to get a huge amount of damage. Everybody survived, but that was great. So what I would like to highlight at this part, you need to keep in mind that actually you have damage rewards which are individual. So for every part of damage you are able to get rewards, and the last is from 10 million damage is a seed, which is really useful for the tree. So you need your guildmates to be able to deal some damage. That's why first goes weakest champions, weakest teams if you have them. Then goes stronger champions and your stronger teams. In that order, you will be able to deal more damage and be more effective against this boss. At the same time, your guildmates will be happy about getting rewards. Or you can just go first, you can clear the huge amount of health, potentially try to get the tops, but if you compare my results to the current top, you will see that they probably have the 5 red plus 2 teams, so no chances. Even if you spoil your guild fights, then still you are not among the top players. So I would highly recommend you to let your weaker teams and weaker champions to fight first, because this reward is for the entire team. You need to get best results, and if you send weak first, you get them. If you send strong first, you will not be able to fight later bosses with your weak teams and weak champions. That's my offer for you, and we have something to think about here. So thanks for watching. See you in the next videos, and please don't forget to get rewards. So I mean rewards at the bottom line. You have special quests here for defeating the bosses of some level. Get them as soon as possible because you need seeds, don't forget about them, and daily quests. So weekly quests are with Asgard, also don't forget about them, pick them, and improve your heroes. So good luck in Dominion and strong health in reality.